So we talked about psychological attraction and how childhood patterns shape what we seek. And we've also talked about how your energy chooses people before you do. You know, that unspoken pull you feel towards someone, even when your knowledge is like, don't do it. But there's one more layer we need to talk about, and that's your spirit. Because sometimes it's not about what you want, it's about what your spirit hasn't released. And baby, your spirit doesn't lie. Now, let me give you an example. There's this young lady, let's call her Amy. She was in a relationship that looked fine from the outside, but deep down, her spirit was like, nope, this not it. And she knew it, but she stayed. She was trying, hoping, praying, but eventually it ended. And after their goodbye, something in her couldn't let go. Time has passed, and she stepped into a new relationship, but the same unease crept in. Not because she hasn't grown, but because her spirit was still trying to carry what hasn't been released. Now see, your spirit remembers. It holds soul ties and emotional residue. Even when your mind says, I'm over it, your spirit still might be tied to that one moment, that one version of you who loved from survival, not security. And that energy, it still pulls. Now, it doesn't always pull in your purpose, it pulls in your patterns. And it will keep doing it until you address what's underneath. Sometimes it's not just memory, it's a soul tie. And soul ties don't need your permission. They form when you connect deeply, emotionally, spiritually, and intimately with someone. You share space, stories, and even without realizing, you share energy. And let's be real. You don't always know what the other person is carrying. So now your spirit is holding their trauma, their fears, their mess. No wonder you feel heavy. Now you're carrying a whole emotional suitcase that's not even yours. So how do you let it go? So let's start simple. Write a goodbye letter. Not to them, but to the version of you who kept accepting what wasn't enough. So say, I released the part of me that kept going back. I'm no longer bound to that energy. Now, write it, burn it, cry if you need to. Just let your spirit hear what you need. Then, forgive yourself. Because let's be honest, you're not weak. You were loyal, you were hopeful, you were learning. So say, I was worthy even then, and I forgive myself for forgetting that. Now, that's how the shift begins. Not through shame, but with grace, truth, and your own divine authority. Now, if this spoke to you, hit like, comment if you've been there, and share it with someone who needs it.